You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
Hey, everybody, I've got a question. I need answers. I need the truth. What the heck was happening on July 3rd, 1776? That's right, today is July 3rd, 2024. Almost 250 years later. And I don't know if anyone's ever asked, what the heck was happening on July 3rd? Well, I'll tell you what was happening. The king was out of control. He went from being God's chosen servant of the people to guide and protect them to, well, I own everything. I'm the king. I'm the king. Right? Everyone must obey every edict I have and give me lots of money, and I don't care what they want in return for it. That's what was happening on July 3rd. Seriously, though, folks, there was not good things happening on July 3rd. July 3rd, people were having their houses barged into by, well, the king's police, if you shall. The king's investigators. On July 3rd, 1776, people were having their lives destroyed by government interference. If you spoke out against the king, you were arrested. If you didn't obey the king's orders, you were arrested. If you didn't pay your taxes, you were arrested. Everything resulted in arrest. And then the courts, oh, you could be accused of anything on July 3rd, and it was your ass. On July 3rd, folks, everyone had enough. Now, of course, they'd been writing the Declaration of Independence for several days, working on it, having meetings, of course, secret meetings, because if King George found out the people were plotting to ensure their freedom and a government that is reliable, honorable, trustable, and stable, he wouldn't have allowed that. Oh, no. Self-governance? A republic? Are you kidding me? The king would have none of that on July 3rd. Well, on July 4th, they finally finished their work. Everyone looked at each other and said, any objections? And everyone said, well, no objections we can't live with. Right? This whole declaration thing's pretty cool. Let's roll with it. And so they signed it. They put it in a large envelope. They put, well, a stamp on it, I suppose. Paid their stamp tax. Everything. A stamp is proof that a tax has been paid, folks. That's all it is. Now, the rest is history, as they say. Let's talk, if we shall. Let's talk about our July 3rd. What is going on today? Well, I tell you what, folks. We have a guy. He is a former Obama political aide. He's come out and he is all over the mainstream media. And he says this, quote, the First Amendment is out of control. I didn't know an amendment can get out of control any more than an AR-15 can kill hundreds of people. Right? AR-15 can't kill anybody. A stick, unless it falls out of a tree and it's very large, can't kill anybody. But be it a stick, a rock, or a piece of paper with the First Amendment written on it, all of them are inanimate objects. They can't hurt anybody in and of themselves. It's how they are used or neglected that has consequences. Same with sticks and stones. It's how they're used that has consequences. So let's continue with this, huh? The First Amendment is out of control. Well, what's the problem here, Mr. Political Mouthpiece? Well, the problem is they can't control speech. And he says, hey, the Supreme Court is letting the First Amendment just get out of control. It's being used by corporations and individuals to threaten national security and the safety and privacy of Americans. When was the last time you heard the government of the United States or the government of any state show concern about our privacy? Privacy is now a concern. Well, you should be able to do whatever you want. No, privacy. Really? Oh, yeah, like get an abortion. You should be able to get an abortion. No one should know anything about it. Oh, okay. How about murder? Should you be able to murder and not have anyone know or get anyone know about it? Oh, see, it's not a good argument, right? Privacy isn't about getting away with things you shouldn't be getting away with. Privacy is about having the government not in your life and then regulating you, taxing you, telling you what to do, etc. I believe privacy is extremely important. I also have had to accept and acknowledge that the government doesn't believe in privacy. But now they'll use it in an argument. They'll use it in a political argument because, well, they're stinking politicians and they're liars. But the First Amendment is out of control on July the 3rd. Well, that means we need to get rid of it. If you don't follow the speech rules, you go to jail, pay a fine, lose your job, lose your life, abandon your property. In other words, you're done. No First Amendment, no life. But, in the name of national security. Oh, you mean like an open border, that kind of national security crisis? You think a little bit of speech, some mean tweets is bad relative to an open border with not hundreds, not thousands, folks, not even hundreds of thousands, but millions. 15 million illegal aliens. That is a national security crisis, especially since Americans are being murdered by them, robbed by them, and raped by them. And that is not an exaggeration at any level. This is what's happening. But free speech is a security and safety and national security issue. And the justices of the Supreme Court need to be brought back into line. To me, that's unfreaking believable as a statement. Well, July 3rd. What about the people? Not just these silly representatives meeting in Independence Hall in Philadelphia. What do the people have to say? Well, we have a radical left-wing ding-dong out there, and there's her pronouns because it's a freak, had this to say, need to take Trump out now. Leftists, once again, on July 3rd, people's lives were being called for. Anyone who opposes the king, well, 80% of America, folks, was either ambivalent or in support of the king. In other words, they were cowards, they were silent, or they were in favor of the king. So the Tories were loyalists, loyal to the king, and they would point out people that the king should arrest. They would help. They would see something and say something. So they were the good guys, right? No, they weren't the good guys. They were on the side of the bad guys, calling for people to be arrested, taken out, jailed, prosecuted, ruined, so that they could, be loyalists, supporters of the regime. King George gave about as much of 2 shakes of a stick, trying to be nice, about America, the colonists, as Biden cares about America today. All he cares about is his power. Period. Period. And we're going to have a lot to talk about. On July 3rd, King George didn't care about anything but his power. On July 3rd, in America, in 2024, well, King Biden doesn't care a lick about America. Nope. King Biden doesn't care a lick about America. He's not going to change his mind either. You see, that's not important. They really don't care. They really don't care. What they care about is their power, the same way they did on July 3rd in 1776. And because they didn't give a shit, the people said no more, and that ended. That was the end of their stuff, their game. Okay, look out, bird. Folks, I'll see you later this afternoon. So late, 0 dark 30. Sometimes you just cannot get internet reception out here in the world. Anyways, I wish you a good day. Adieu. Farewell. And chance favors the prepared mind is yours.